I studied architecture for 5 years, and one day I made a decision that everyone thought it's little crazy. I walked away from a drawing board and walked straight onto a construction site. And honestly, that's the best thing I have ever done. This is the story how that happened and why I started this channel. I grew up genuinely fascinated by buildings, not just what they look like, but how they work. The structure, the system, the logic underneath the beautiful surface. That's what pulled me into the architecture study. And honestly, architecture school was incredible. I learned how to think spatially, how to design with intention, and how to take a problem and build a solution from scratch. And somehow, along the way, I started asking different questions. I didn't want to just design buildings, I wanted to understand how they actually get built. That curiosity, not the frustration, just pure curiosity, is what eventually led me out of the studio and onto a construction site. And from there, one thing led to another. But to explain how I ended up here in New York, working in AI and construction tech, for that, I need to take you back to where it started. Moving to New York was one of those decisions you make before you understand what you are signing up for. I came here to do my master's in construction management from NYU, and from day one, the scale of construction in the city was something that I had never seen in my life. Sites everywhere, glass towers going up along 100-year-old buildings, projects that cost more than some country's GDP, and the technology being used on those sites, it was moving faster than almost any other industry. I knew immediately this was where I wanted to be. After my masters, I got my first role in this industry as a beam capture technician, which is a very technical way of saying I was the person walking through active construction site with 360 camera in hand, capturing reality data and feeding it back into the digital model. What I didn't expect was how much my architecture background would matter on those sites. Walking through a floor mid construction, I could read the space differently. I could see where the design intent was being followed and where it is slowly drifting from actual plan. That's something you can't really teach. You either see it or you don't. But here's what also becoming clear to me. The technology we were using to capture all those data, it was powerful. Way more powerful than most of the team actually knew how to use it. We were generating incredible information, hundreds of gigabytes of reality capture, and a lot of it was just sitting there. The gap between data we had and what we actually did with it, that became my obsession. About 6 months into that role, and I transitioned into something I hadn't had a title before, AI implementation and Procore coordinator, which basically means I'm the person responsible for making sure that whole construction company uses AI and tech the way they designed to be used. Not just having the software, not just paying for the license, but actually using it in a way that changes how a project gets delivered. And here's the thing about that role that I find genuinely exciting. There is no established playbook for that role yet. The construction industry is in the middle of the real transformation right now, and there are people still figuring out how AI will work in construction industry. That's where I want to be. That's the conversation I want to be a part of. So here's what I want this channel to be. I want to show what it actually looks like when AI meets construction. Not in a demo, not in a conference keynote, on a real project with real team, real time. Because here's something nobody really talks about loud. I'm just not learning the software. I'm learning how to preserve a design intent through chaos of this construction industry. That's what actually gets lost on every project. And understanding how to protect it using the tools we have now, that's the real challenge. I also want to explore the architecture that shapes cities, break down iconic buildings, and show what the technology of today would do differently in the way we design and build them. And for anyone who came from another country to build a career in this industry, or who made a career pivot that felt a little scary, I want to document what that path looked like too. I don't exactly know where this channel goes from here, and that's the kind of point. I'm building it the same way I approach every project, one step at a time, figuring it out as I go, and sharing everything I learn along the way. If this sounds like something you want to follow along with, hit subscribe. I would genuinely love to have you here. I'm planning to share a lot of going forward: construction, tech breakdowns, real career stories, and the kind of content I wish I would had access to when I was starting out. The next video is going to be something little different, but if you are curious about AI in construction and how this industry looks like from inside, you won't wanna miss it. See you there.